What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of These Can't Be My Kids.
Where parenting never ends, sanity is optional, and we're still footing the bill.
Oh, God. That's just terrible, but that's the truth.
No. So today we plan on bringing lots of laughs, some chaos, and some questionable life choices.
Ain't that the truth?
Yes. It's going to be a wild ride.
That's a good choice of words considering we live in Texas.
I mean, everything in Texas is bigger and wilder. All the time.
Except for our kids.
I mean, technically they are big. I just don't know that we can call them adults.
So with that being said, what actually makes a person an adult?
Well, legally, they say 18. Some states or even countries, right? They're like 16. They can make their own choices. I think for me, I would say being an adult is more about independence, responsibility, and your self-awareness.
Well, if that's your definition of an adult, would you say our kids are adults? Now, mind you, we have 23 to 35. Would you say they're adults?
21.
21. Oh, yeah, 21. Oh, yeah, 21.
Yeah. 21.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, I need to make a correction
from
last episode. I'm sorry. My niece wanted to make sure that I was very clear that she is not 36. She is 470 months.
Is it 70 or 420?
Maybe 420. 420, yeah, because 470 is giving her too many again. I'm sorry, niece. 420 months is where she is. So, because, when your kids are kids, you know how they go from, when a baby is born, they be like, oh, how old are they? And you hear 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. I don't know when they start giving them years, but apparently she still needs months. So she is not 35, y'all. She's
not 36.
She's not 36. She's 420 months. So
okay, again. So going back to my question.
Yes.
We have from 21 to 420 months.
That's
35. And based off of your definition of being responsible, self-aware, and independent, would you say our kids are adults?
I'd love to let our viewers answer that question.
What about if our kids are adults?
Yeah, let them listen to the story, and then they can let us know what they think.
That's pretty much a really good idea.
Today's story is going to be sponsored by Karen's.
It is.
I don't know how many months, child.
So based off of if our children are adults, right? Responsible, independent, and self-aware. You know what? Come to think about it. So these past 2 weeks, right? So your nephew is moving from. So my oldest son, is moving from one state to another.
Right.
So, and of course, he's a truck driver. Been a truck driver for 5 years. He wants to get off the truck, but he's not ready yet. He has some things that he needs to do. So he gets to the new state he's moving to, and he wants to change his license over.
Okay.
So he goes to
the simple test.
Right. He goes to the DMV, and they tell him he can't change his license over because they had to downgrade his license. Mind you, I say he's a truck driver, so he got a CDL license. They tell him that they have to downgrade his license.
To just a Class C license?
I have no idea because he walked out and was like he had to do whatever, right?
Okay.
So they give him a number that he got to call in the old state. So he calls up the number and they tell him that his medical card is not active.
Okay.
Right.
So to be a CDL, he needs the medical clearance.
Right. He needed his medical card to be active, right? So I'm like, well, do you have an active medical card? He's like, yeah, I got an active medical card. I just did my examination last year. So, okay, well, you need to activate your medical card. They give him this number. He calls. They tell him that he has to upload it in the system. Number one. Okay. He's been a truck driver for 5 years. Now, I don't know how often you're supposed to get an examination, but I'm thinking if it's anything like a physical, it's probably every year. But no. Because when I looked at his medical card, it said he got an examination in 2024, so it didn't expire until 2026. So
every 2 years.
About every 2
annual,
years.
that's
Right.
awesome. Yeah.
So in 5 years, you should have done this already.
At least
Twice. Right?
At least twice.
So he gets the number, they give it to him, and they tell him everything he has to do. So it's two parts. One, you have to certify what kind of CDL driver you are, right? If you interstate, or something else, right?
And he goes to multiple states.
Right.
Okay.
And then the other section that he has to do is upload the medical card, right? So when you do this, they send you an email and say it's going to take up to 10 business days. Now, mind you, he's home for the weekend, right? So he was trying to get this done. So they tell
he could go on his next run.
Right. So they give him the daggone email and says it's going to take up to 10 business days. The first thing is he's freaking out. Oh my God, up to 10 business days. Right? So I'll say to him, call them every day.
Okay.
Like, call them every day. If you call them every day, it'll keep them, right?
Right.
So the next day he calls and it says, they do that thing now where,
you could leave your number?
Yeah, because we got too many people calling, leave your number, we'll call you back.
Right.
So they say, we'll call you back within 48 hours. So he was like, oh my God, that's so stupid. They're going to call me back within 48 hours. Okay, just keep calling every day. Long story short, he had been calling for 2 weeks.
Did he ever get a call back in 48 hours?
No.
Oh.
So he told me he didn't get no call back for 48 hours.
I think he left the wrong number.
I don't know what he did,
Okay.
right? But no, I don't think so because I did call the number and it was the same thing.
Okay.
So for 2 weeks, now mind you, he was supposed to be at work.
Right.
Then he like, well, what am I supposed to tell my job?
Trying to get your license.
So then then they frustrated. Then he parked his truck somewhere. And then he tells the people after 2 weeks, he was like, well, if I don't get my license updated, y'all gonna have to come get the truck. And they like, if we come,
he tells his job.
Yeah,
so he quitting.
Like they say, if we come get the truck, you gonna have to foot the bill. Oh, I ain't footing no bill, but it's your fault.
You left the truck someplace else. You
Right.
don't have your license to return the truck. It's all on you, right?
Right. So then he turns around, and 2 weeks go by, and like the last day, it's Thursday. Thursday, he's stressed out. He's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I said, well, did you call any other number? They keep giving me the same number. Okay. I don't know what to do. This we're on until like 2:30 in the morning. Brother man called me at 2:30 in the morning. He's so stressed out. He was like, I should just run a car into a brick wall. I said, what?
So now life is so horrible because it's 2 weeks and I haven't gotten my license. So I just want to end everything.
Right.
I just want to end it all.
I want to end it all,
Okay.
right? So now I wake up in the morning. I say, yo, give me the number. Right? He gives me the number. I don't know what you're going to do. They ain't called me back in 2 weeks. I said, just take a moment to pray. Oh my God, Mom, what is prayer going to do?
Yes,
right?
Here we go.
So I call the number, the first number. Before I do that, I get on a regular DMV and I go to the chat and I'm asking questions, right?
Quick and easy.
And he goes, oh, here you go with that AI crap. AI is going to take over the world and you talking to AI, right?
I mean, how do you know it's AI? It might be a real person.
But they gave me the information I needed,
Okay.
right? So then they tell me to call this number, which happened to be the same number that they gave him. So, no, it was another number. So I call this number, which is the regular DMV, right? I call the number. They still got that whole thing saying that you got to wait in line, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Right?
They can call you back.
In 48 hours, right? So he was like, I told you. These people call me back in 30 minutes, y'all.
Wait. The same number?
The same number, right? So wait. They call me back in 30 minutes, and then they tell me I have to go to the CDL department. I ain't even freaking out about it because he been waiting for 2 weeks. Whatever, right?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got to call back in
30 minutes. So the same thing happens with the CDL number. The CDL number happens. They tell me the same thing. It's going to take 48 hours.
Okay.
So I go about my day. They call me back in 45 minutes.
All right.
So right.
So now you got 2 callbacks.
Right.
In a matter of the same day.
In the same day.
Okay.
Right. So when she calls me back, I call him to hook him up on 3-way because I know they ain't gonna be able to tell me the information, right?
Yeah.
So either she didn't
because he's an adult.
Exactly. Exactly.
Technically.
So she doesn't hear me say hold on, whatever. So as I'm connecting the 3-way call, she hangs up. He was like, oh my God, the world done fell apart again. So I do the same process again. I call the same number. I wait probably 30, 35 minutes. They call me back, say I got to call the CDL number. I call that number, right? While I'm waiting for them to call me back, I'm looking to see what he's been doing, right? So I'm looking.
And so, like you're logged into the account.
Yeah, it's their DMV thing. And I'm looking, and it says, to certify that you are interstate, whatever, you have to do this first, right? And then when you do it, you click on what you are, then it comes up and it says, we got your information. Right. So I call him, I said, hey, did you certify? He said, yeah. Is that all you've been doing? He said, no. I said, did you put your medical card up here?
Because there's a spot to upload it.
He goes, yeah. I said, send me your medical card, right? And so he was like, I'm telling you, I did it. So he sends me the medical card and he sends me this screenshot to show me that he's been certifying for 2 weeks. So I take the medical card, I upload it. They call me probably like 15 minutes later.
And then?
I explain to the lady what's been happening.
So you loop him in again.
And then I explain, and I loop him in again. And then he explains the same thing I explained. And she goes, okay, we've updated your medical card. He goes, are you sure? She said, yes, we've updated your medical card.
So in a matter of a day, less than 24 hours, it's been updated, and that's all he needed.
That's all he needed.
But it took him 2 weeks.
So then he goes to the DMV, right? He goes to the DMV, but then he goes to the DMV and don't take the medical card with him, right?
You'd be like,
So he goes, because even though it's updated in the system, he still has to bring the hard copy. So then he has to go back home and get the hard copy, right? But then as he gets home, he realizes, oh, this is from the other state. I need to get one for this state
that I'm in. Okay.
So now you need to call and make an appointment.
Make a doctor's appointment.
You know how expensive that's going to be? I've been out of work for 2 weeks.
Adulting?
So,
I'm just thinking of the definition.
Responsibility, independence, self-aware. You was not self-aware.
Well, I don't know. Was he?
He didn't know his medical card was supposed to be uploaded. He told me ain't nobody ever tell him that. So
in the past 5 years, he never had to upload his medical card?
He was supposed to, but he been holding on to it.
So technically, he's been driving illegally.
That's the other thing. Oh, yes. Okay. He's been driving illegal.
Okay. I mean,
And he was not aware.
Okay. Well, remember, we're going to let our viewers comment and decide.
Y'all comment. Based off of the story, is my 30-year-old, based off of the definition of an adult, responsible, independent, and self-aware, is he an adult?
I'd be interested to know, too, if there's a different definition of adulthood or adulting.
Yeah, and we're not talking about the age, right? Because we understand, right?
I say, I think in France they say 16. I think, here we say 18. Although you could be adult, but you can't buy alcohol, you can't buy cigarettes, you can't do a lot of stuff at adulthood, which kind of leads you to think, why is 18 the age for adulthood? But we don't have any in that age bracket. All of ours are from 21 to 420 months.
You gonna make sure she knows she 420 months.
That's right. I don't want to get no corrections from the kids on this again. So I need to make sure they understand.
So let us know, y'all. Is my 30-year-old considered an adult based off of the definition and what we just went through for 2 weeks? And mind you, he wanted to end it all.
Yeah.
After
just
2
into
weeks.
a brick wall.
After 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Girl.
y'all definitely comment and let us know if my son was being an adult at 30 years old. That's all.
Overall, these kids are crazy. That's all I can say. I don't know.
That's why we have a podcast called "These Can't Be My
They
Kids."
just can't be, because and this is gonna bring us to our favorite part of the show.
It's the audacity for me.
That's
my
so.
That
yes,
is
yes.
Because it'd be
This
the
is
audacity.
Karen's favorite part of the show.
Because literally, y'all, some of the stuff that these kids say and the things that be happening, I just be like, what?
I know.
I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Audacity of it all.
So, what we got?
So today we actually have a story from one of our viewers.
Our first
or
viewers?
listeners. Yes, one of our first listeners who gave us a comment. Ashley, we want to thank you so much for sending in your story.
Yes, thank you.
So
thank you,
I'm going to read it for us so that we can hear what Ashley's been going through. So she says, "Hi, Leela and Karen. Thank you for giving me something to relate to. My story involves my 29-year-old son, yes, almost 30, who calls me every single week. For what do you ask? Well, not to check on me, but to ask me to Venmo him just a little something until payday. Just a little something. Okay. As if payday is some kind of mystical event that just happens magically and will come, and that it's going to come through. Well, she says, sir, you are grown. How do you still need an advance from Mom's Bank every week? Am I his payroll department? She said, I don't recall signing up for that job. And after hearing Leela talk about the hardship withdrawals from the Bank of Mom last week, I said, I'm sorry, son. I regret to inform you that I am officially shutting down due to budget constraints and gross misuse of funds. Ashley, that's what I'm talking about, girl. High five right there.
Wait.
You go, girl, on your newfound boundaries.
Not budget constraints.
Budget constraints. I'm feeling this one, Ashley. You go for it, because I'm saying.
So last week we had hardship withdrawals. And this week we got budget constraints.
Well, we need it because these kids, I'm saying, they can't be. They just can't. They cannot belong to us. I don't understand.
Budget constraints. That's a good one.
So
that's just right up your...
It rolls right up my alley, being in HR, payroll, and all that stuff. Yes. So, but Ashley, for sure, you go, girl. We're here to support you. We're all in the same boat. So thank you for sending in your story. And overall, can you give me a little something?
What is that?
It's the audacity for me.
Yeah, what is that?
What is that? What's a little something?
Like, you need some change.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you enough for that. Remember when you were little and your mom gave you enough for the emergency phone call? I'll give you $0.25 for the payphone. Oh,
we don't got payphones.
I guess you're not getting nothing. Sorry.
At this point, we need a parent hotline. Welcome to the parental loan. I don't know. Denial.
That's
hotline.
right.
That's denial.
What it is. Because we're not giving anything else. We're going to regret to inform you that you are now an adult.
Press 1 if you want to hear me laugh at you.
Press 2 if you want to get denied. So, it's like one or the other. Either way.
That actually does scream audacity, because we go to work every day. We get paid. And then you go to work every day. You get paid.
But you want to spend my money.
And you ask me, can you get a little something?
Yeah, like, I don't, what is little something? What are we talking about? 50 cents?
And then she said he asked for a Venmo, which means that you have a Venmo app, you have a bank account that's tied to the Venmo, you have a phone.
You obviously have a full-time job because you're getting paid.
Yes, but you still, and I'm doing the same thing as you.
You know what I want to know, Ashley? When you do send him a little something, or the last time, did he ever send you a little something back?
Did he say thank you?
Anything?
Yes.
Probably not. Yeah. Well, we'll wait to hear. We'll wait to hear that.
Comment, Ashley, or send us something. Let us know. Yeah. And let us know how you doing, Ashley, because, sometimes we be like, oh, we're not going to do this, and we're going to put our foot down. But then they come up with these sad sob stories, and then we fall into the gap again. But, girl, we are here to support you. Okay? Yes. Remember.
say,
The parental
you are not
loan
alone.
denial hotline,
That's right.
okay?
Denial hotline specifically. So.
Press 2 if you're getting denied.
Just hang up.
Yeah,
Just hang up. Just ignore that call. Actually, you know what? Block that number. We could do it all. So.
But seriously, y'all, if y'all have a story that it's the audacity for you, for us, for everybody,
Just the audacity.
send it to us.
Like
you
I
can
said,
comment.
kids, spouse, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, mama, son, whoever.
It's the audacity.
It's the audacity.
Comment, DM us. We on Instagram. We on TikTok. These can't be my kids. Of course, we're on YouTube. Send us an email if you want to really get down to the nitty gritty and tell us what's going on. It's stories@thesecan'tbemykids.com.
We can't wait to hear from y'all.
Yeah.
And just remember, we may feel like they're not our kids,
But they really are.
they really are.
They really are.
We
So
don't
till
want
the next time, y'all.
We'll see you then.
Stay sane.
Try to.
And have an amazing week.
See ya.
Okay.